Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Figma number 629 Sakamata Chloe from HoloLive's Holux. You can see her there in front of the box. We'll go ahead and put her off the side real quick and take a look at said box. And yes, it is a typical Figma box. You got Chloe right there on the side looking all happy. And it's number 629 Sakamata Chloe, both in English and Japanese. 2016 cover core, HoloLive Figma cover, Max Factory. And on top, of course, you have the Figma, a logo, and of course another pose of her. And on the side, you have a pose of her. On the side, you also have another pose of her. On the bottom, you have another pose and the barcode. And the back, of course, you have a whole bunch of product shots and copyrights and warnings and ages 15 and up because it's, not for children. And included with the figure, of course, is the instructions, which are both in Japanese and in English, which, gives you a couple warnings about some stuff, about some things, including about potential paint transfer and whatnot. So just be mindful of that. So, Sakamata Chloe, the now graduated member of Holux. Yeah, this came out right after, she only graduated a little bit ago, so it's kind of that weird thing. Oh, cool, I'm reviewing a figure of a no longer active VTuber. At least there's no awkwardness of she was fired. But yeah, getting in close a bit. The face there, yeah. See, it's Chloe. She got, default with her orca hoodie, the little, with the, plaid bows and everything. You got the coat. Yeah, you got the coat here with so they got a little bit of silver overspray. There we got the coat with a little bit of the inner material. Her shirt with the ribbon and the belts, lots of belts, and also a little caution label right there on the hoodie. And there's also more caution stuff like on the coat and on the torn stock and everything. Yeah, you got the you got the straps and belts and stuff all over the place too, and the gloves, fingerless gloves and all that stuff. Lots of details, and also, of course, the platform shoes, really big platform shoes and everything. And yeah, on the back of the coat, which, yeah, you can see some joints back there and whatnot. Yeah, so she just kind of came right off the stand. Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like her, yeah, she doesn't peg onto here very well. It's, yeah, that doesn't go in very far, at least as far as I can tell. Yeah, the hole in the back doesn't seem to be particularly deep. So unfortunately, it seems like she just doesn't peg on there very well. So she comes off the stand really easily, unfortunately. At least in my experience. I'm not sure if I'm just doing something wrong or what. Yeah, it pops right off. Like, I don't know if I'm just not pushing it hard enough. I don't want to break it. Had that experience before, but yeah. Posability in this particular form. I say this particular form because she has some extra parts which will adjust things slightly. Head, of course, you got a ball joint thing. It's got, left and right. You got up and down. You kind of have waggle if you do things a certain way, but, it's kind of limited due to the shape of the hoodie. Arms, you got shoulder joints which can go outward. They won't go outward that far with this hood on. Forward and back, you fully, got forward and back, and there's also a rotation there at the shoulder. You do have a bicep rotation right here below the collar piece. Although there's a rotation above right here. There's also a rotation below. There's also an elbow joint, which is just a simple hinge. On mine also, this one unfortunately likes to pop off when you use the elbow joint. It'll just pop right out of the socket because the peg for the elbow joint is malformed, unfortunately, on mine. Yeah, so unfortunately it comes off really easy. I mean, it will stay in place once, if you hold it, still pretty much in place, but you can see now there's a huge gap on the back side because, again, it's a malformed peg. And I tried shaving it down a little bit to adjust it, but yeah, the problem is that the peg also kind of juts off to one side because something weird happened, essentially. So this elbow's nigh useless at times. Down here at the wrist, you do have rotation and a hinge right there. You have there is a joint mid torso. You got forward and back. You got rotation and forward and back hinging. There's also a joint down here as well, although it doesn't really rotate, but there is a hinge there for sure. If it does rotate, it will. I think theoretically it could rotate except for the shape of everything. So there's that. But yeah, it does hinge forward, so she does have a somewhat natural ab crunch. Hips, they have the Figma thing now. The hips can drop down to allow for more posing. So do have a bit forward, although again, you got limitations thanks to the skirt. It only goes that far forward. It goes that far back. It's actually pretty far back. You do have a thigh rotation there. There is a knee joint right there. Goes, bends that much. And down here at the feet, you do have, forward and back on the foot. It's real rotation there at the ankle and a little above the ankle. I believe this also rotates as well. And of course, you do have, you do also have, of course, the ankle tilt as well. So good amount of posability. Unfortunately, mine has a bad elbow. That's a little bit disappointing. Now, and also again, doesn't peg onto the stand very well. Which, of course, the stand itself, of course, has the usual, multiple hinges. And this can rotate, and it can rotate at the base too. So yeah. And on top of all that, back here at the coach, you can see there is a, you got to be careful when, if you got to flare these out a little bit when you use this, but there is a hinge and ball joint thing right here. There's basically a hinge ball joint thing right here. And these bits are also on ball joints right here. There's multiple layers there. You just gotta, multiple layers of coat articulation. You just gotta work for it. And also, can she stand without the stand? Yeah, you just gotta find that balance point. But yeah, she'll stand without it. There you go. Now, before I get too far into the whole, yeah, let's see that stupid, the stupid arm, the hinge there. It just sucks that mine has a malformed peg right here, so it comes out really easily. It'll stay in place, but yeah, it doesn't take much to, yeah, as long as you're not touching it, it'll stay in place. But the second you start messing with it, it'll just pop itself right out of that hinge. It'll just pop itself loose. Just trying to get it to sit right. And again, that is really annoying. It doesn't want to stay on the stand. I don't know. Yeah. Regardless, real quick comparison before I get into accessories because of how these Figma are. Just one quick comparison. Here she is with Laplace, the leader. Even without the platform shoes, she'd have quite the height difference over her, but that kind of makes sense. So there you go. Now, accessory-wise, of course, she comes with a bag, which, just typical Figma bag to put the accessories in. Replacement wrist joint just in case, because they're very small and fragile. So you have one of those. You also have, speaking of, you have alternate hands. You have these open splay hands, but you also have a pointing hand, and a kind of a grasping hand for accessories, which she doesn't have. On top of another set of hands, which comes with an alternate upper torso. No face or anything, but an alternate upper torso. That also comes with the fists. So there's that. And she comes with a couple of alternate faces, including, well, she's got her default kind of big smile, but she's also got this kind of nervous, sweating face right here. With the swirly eyes. And she also has this kind of upset face because, she cries a lot about things because, she's the stinky orca, and people bring that up. Also has her masks, one of which is kind of the default open-eyed thing. Open-eye mask, and the other one, which is, you can see sad eyes. And if you pre-order for Good Smile directly, you got this little baggie, which came with, another face in it, which is her, big open, or big closed eye smile face. So there you go. Now, as for swapping accessories, of course, it's the typical thing right here. What you want to do there is, of course, this hoodie separates if you want to swap faces. Of course, it's a little tricky. This hoodie is actually a little tricky about it. And also with the hoodie here, it has a tendency to pull the face with it, which is fine. It's just kind of be mindful of that because, sometimes I've had that, pull the face out and then the face drops out of this bit. But yeah. Yeah, swapping the face. Easily, just do that right there. And also on top, so you got that going on. That. Put this a little closer. And it's also on top of that, on top of that, yeah, when it comes slap a face, you can also see there's a little notch in there with one of the faces. You can then put one of the masks on there and then hold it in place using the front headpiece. Like that. As for the hands, of course, put them at a bit of an angle, then pop them off like that, and then of course you can swap them as you want. Grab one of the pointing one. Yeah, so pop those as you want. That's gonna be annoying. Yeah, it's the annoying thing is, mine I pulled it out of the box almost immediately. The elbow fell off the second I moved it. I tried to move it real quick and popped right off. It's really annoying that happened. Now the upper torso. And for the upper torso here, they recommend basically arch it back and then pull. Don't rotate, just pull straight up. Or pull it up. Because, yeah, it's a little scary. And you make sure the whole coat will come with it. So make sure you're... Yeah. See. Yeah, so that comes off. And then, you get this. And, of course, this works the same way with the faces, by the way. Just kind of... Pop the hair off and then... Pop a face on. Mask as well. Still works with the mask as well. And then, yeah, this also has a little protector thing to keep this, from closing up, hopefully. And then, pop this on. You're gonna be careful. Don't want to snap that peg. There you go. Now she's coatless. So yeah. Again, now, of course, there's also an extra peg hole in this torso behind, underneath the coat, which can be used. Yeah, and that, of course, that peg hole works a lot better than the one that's in the coat. So there you go. Then here, the articulation, there is a little bit, is a little bit more range now that because that all the way, yeah, it's all the way on. Because there's no coat, there's a little bit more range, and like that joint right there, there's more range and whatnot. Also, this is a little loose. The head now is there's a some extra jointing there. It's kind of actually the ball joint is actually attached to the back of the hair instead of like the top. So you have this extra jointing. You can adjust. You can make her look way down if you want. And on top of that, yeah, the hair has a hinge on it for those poses. Shoulders are pretty much the same. The biceps, there is a swivel. I don't think there's one right here. Double check that. Yeah, there's no mid-cut swivel. The swivel's now at the shoulder. Elbows are pretty much, they're no longer hinges, the usual Figma, and these are pretty much the again just ball joint and hinge. That's all pretty much the same. Well, yeah, this on mine, the upper torso bit is. This one's a little loose, quite a bit looser. But yeah, you got this whole thing right here, so it can be weird, I guess. Yeah, that just popped right off, unfortunately. Again, I gotta see if I can find a way to fix that, because yeah, this is really annoying that it's got this malformed peg. So it doesn't grip worth crap in some poses. Because it's really annoying, because I actually like her better with the coat on, so that kind of stinks. But yeah, as a whole, it's it's a Figma with, you know, it's got a decent amount of accessories. Again, it feels like it's one of those weird ones where it's like, it doesn't feel like it actually has a whole lot, but because there's a whole extra upper torso, there's actually a lot more than you think there is usually. But yeah, this thing cost me, what was it? I think with shipping cost me somewhere in the neighborhood of $80. Yeah, with shipping, it cost me about $80, $85, something like that. Decent price if you like Chloe at all. If you like your, you know, you like to tell her to go take a bath. She's decent. She's a decent Figma, but yeah, I'm not sure if this is the hinge, like the hinge elbow is that's a problem. That's a common problem, or if that's just mine. I don't know. It could be a widespread manufacturing defect for all I know, but it's actually a pretty decent figure. And also on top of that, whether or not the peg hole on the back of the coat is any good. So those might be just mine has that defect. Those might be widespread. I don't know, but overall, if as long as yours doesn't have those problems, which it might not, should be a pretty solid pick. But yeah, with that, if it does have those problems, that's going to be an issue. But generally, it's a pretty good figure, and I do rather like it. So yeah, just be mindful of some of the possible issues it might have. And again, it's kind of deceptive. It feels like it doesn't have a whole lot in the box, but when you realize, you know, it has a whole extra upper torso, it's like, okay, yeah, there's actually a lot of plastic in there. So it may or may not be worth it depending on whether or not you want to, you know, do the swap. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much Sakamata Chloe's Figma. I think it's worth it, but you know, you might disagree. Depends. So yeah, that's it for this one. I hope you find it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social medias down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Ko-fi and my Patreon. I shall see you next time with another video review.